Great. You made it. As always, I'm excited to have you. Nervous about what you're going to say, but I'm here for it. See, because Question Time was founded on a longing for us to talk to one another through open dialogue, active listening, and the sharing of opinions and facts. See, we strive to move past the texting and get back to the good old days, the days where audible words were used to convey a message and talk to people. I know, it's scary, but we can do it together. Now, there are a few things that are required before we start. One, we will be respectful, considerate, and courteous. We will also know that feelings might get hurt because not everybody agrees with everybody. But when all is said and done, we will leave not in hate, but in love and understanding. Number two, you can join the live by clicking the link pinned. Note that you do need to share the join, unless it's one of those pop on, pop off type of shows. However, if you plan to be on the panel for a prolonged period of time, and you know what I mean, be kind and share the show to your page. See, this shows us that you want your people to chime in, that you support our growth, and that you are encouraging us to press on to being a brilliantly successful show. Now, if you can't do that for Question Time's expansion, we get it, we understand. But you also have to understand that you can comment in the comment section. Crap out it to your mom. Okay? Now, let's get started. Raw News No Fluff presents to you Question Time with me, your host, Brandy Grant. I'll be back in 1 minute. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I was muted. I know. Don't do that to me. Okay. So do me a small favor. Do me a small favor. I just need you to share this post. Show me that you care. Like and subscribe to the YouTube page, which is Raw News No Fluff. If you would be so kind to subscribe to that right there. We're trying to build our followers, which would be great. Just build it up. You only get something once a week, so it's not like you're getting bombarded with alerts. Hopefully we can build that up, but in the meantime, between time, go ahead and follow, like, share, and get notified, and also share this live to your page. So we're going to go ahead and welcome Chad to the stage. Hey, Chad. What's going on?
Brandy, how are you?
Where
Happy
you
New
been?
Year. Is it too late to say Happy New Year?
No, it's always a Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you.
Always a Happy New Year. I like that.
How are you? You've been away. You missed some good. You missed a couple of shows last couple of weeks.
I don't know if I missed them. I saw them. I just wasn't in them.
Oh,
Yeah, spicy. Um,
right.
I've been well. I took a vacation, so I actually took some proper PTO. I went skiing. Yeah, it was nice. I just got back to work. I think Monday. Yeah.
You
So
went skiing? I'm jealous.
I did. I did. It was on a whim. So after Christmas, it was like, we want to chase some snow, which is like, okay, but you live in Florida, right? So it's like, where's the closest location that actually has snow? It's actually a really tricky question, but it worked
Mhm.
out. Ended up in Tennessee.
Okay.
Saw the Smoky Mountains. It was nice. It was really good.
Nice. Nice. So you'd have to go all the way to Colorado. Good for you.
Why next stop? next time would be Colorado.
Oh, wow. Okay. You
Well,
trying to
I have a
exclusive.
buddy out there. I have two like kind of close friends out there, uh, and it's a beautiful. So I've been to Colorado three
It
times.
is. Colorado's
Colorado's
pretty.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
this is America, really? Like,
Right. It's like some places in America are like foreign, like this is the finer things that America has to offer.
for sure, for
I'm going
sure.
to rank it rank Florida.
Yeah, Florida's Florida.
You got
Florida's
a beach here and there, but you always have the same pretty beaches in California. So it's
mm,
like, but
yeah. I thought
anyhow.
the people were dope. It was a younger demographic, just beautiful landscape.
Hmm.
The dry air was not my favorite thing. Like my nose was not happy after day three, but
Oh,
yeah, it was dope. It was a nice alternative, right?
well, welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome back. So, our first topic of today, since you're here all early and whatnot, is we're gonna do a little gossip. So I was just trying to find what should my question of the day be, and I'm like, I don't have a question, but there's so much going on in the internet right now that it's like crazy. So I'm just gonna go through a few of them. We can chat about them and see where we land on
Okay,
those topics.
okay.
Okay, so you have oh, what was her name? Haley Bailey, Haley Bailey, whatever her name is,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
her
yeah.
boyfriend DDG.
Who's now pregnant? I think
She just had a baby.
just had a baby.
Yes, with her boyfriend DDG.
Yeah.
And people are going ape crap about the gifts that they've given this child. Like they don't believe, let me ask this. Do you believe that children should be lavished with expensive and just an abundance of giftage?
No.
Okay, why not?
Well, because they grow out of things really quickly. So nice things are nice, but like they're not gonna. If they're not 3 or 4, they're not gonna remember anything you give them. So a little relax. I mean, I will splurge on a nice stroller, like a really
That's
nice.
for you though.
That's for me though. It's not for the baby. So I'm just not. I'm not big on that. Like start them a trust fund or buy them
I
some
agree.
stuff.
I agree.
Yeah.
Even if I have the money to spend, even if I'm like balling out of control, that kid don't need nothing.
Don't need nothing.
You legitimately will not remember anything you get. I think when parents do that, who have an abundance of money, they do that to show themselves off
Sure.
what they can offer or what how much money we have. But I don't. I think before the age of 10, and I'm bending toward 13, you don't need gifts. You don't need nothing. Calm
Right.
down.
You got food,
You have a
clothes, you got sports, you got hobbies. Who's paying for them hobbies?
oh. I know somebody that's paying for them hobbies. Ash, welcome.
Yeah. So, but it's interesting. So you said age of 10. So let me refine my answer. So gifts at all under 3, it's just not necessary. Unless it's a onesie that's like cute, whatever. Like those are practical. Between 4 and I'll go up to 9. These are $5, $10 gifts.
Right.
If not that, then like put money in an account for them or start a IRA for them or a CD or something. Otherwise, don't give them a $300 play car. To me, that's just it's not necessary. After 10, yeah, we can talk about some gifts because then the mind is developed and it's like you could give a kid a computer and he learns how to program. It's like, okay.
Okay.
Hello and welcome, Ash. Sorry
Well,
for
these two, Ash and here's Dr. Jackson, they both have kids. So they give gifts. You and Chad, you and I, we don't got
yes.
none of them.
I would like to repose the question so they can answer it because I'm curious.
So we're just doing some gossiping and dishing on this part right here. Let me welcome Jay to the stage really quick, fast, in a hurry. So we're talking about Halle Bailey. I don't know exactly how to pronounce her name, and her
Um,
boyfriend DDG. They just had a baby, and people are complaining or having their opinion about these lavish gifts that they're heaping upon their child.
The
Their
Little
firstborn.
Mermaid?
Their
The
yes.
Little Mermaid? She what I ain't seen not one pregnancy photo.
I did.
Oh,
I've seen,
Yeah,
I've
cause
seen
this
no,
quite
is
a
me
few.
neither.
I've seen quite a few, but they're usually tabloids.
yeah,
Oh,
you gotta Disney, you gotta watch because she's not married, blah blah blah. Disney be tripping, da da da. Da. So, how do you
They
feel
get
about
married. Like, they
parents
got a
that
little.
lavish their children with a lot of gifts or expensive gifts or whatever the case may be?
I heard a preacher say one time his daughter turned 30. He's a very popular, famous preacher in Texas, and he bought his daughter a Bentley GT when they first came out for her 30th birthday. And it was front page news, and people were upset. He said, jealousy is being upset about something that has nothing to do with you anyway. He said, even if I didn't buy my daughter a Bentley, I never was getting ready to buy you one. So why are you writing about what I did for my daughter like she skipped you in line? You weren't going to get a Bentley from me anyway. I don't care what them people do with their children. That ain't my business.
That's thug life right there. So you don't mind, okay?
I don't
Now,
mind.
mind you, this child was born like a less than probably a month ago.
I had a problem with the Sweet 16 series with these lavish parties just because um, it was
Sensationalized.
broadcast and sensationalized for a younger audience. So I do believe that people in public like have a responsibility, uh,
To hide their money?
not to hide their money, but I, because they influence so much, there is a to whom much is given, much is required. But I don't think with children and someone's gifts, I don't know how do we know about these gifts? Are they splurging it?
I think that you live in your tax bracket. I
That's
mean,
what I say.
because I remember reading an article some years and years ago, and it was about certain people, celebrities and their children. And Katie Holmes' children were wearing like $1,000 pair of pants, and they was only wearing them one time, and they had all these clothes, and the housekeeper or who the nanny was just like, she would get the clothes and because they only won once or whatever. But I feel like if your pockets can handle it, like they say in the military, do what your chest can handle. If that's you doing it for yourself, I feel like there's nothing wrong with doing for the children. I actually have an issue with women who keep their hair done, they dress nice, and they kid looking sloppy, hair all crazy with snotty nose. I have an issue with that. If you're doing it for you, you best to be doing it for your children. And I believe do it for the child first, and then you. I just feel like that's weird to be walking around you looking nice and your child looking crazy, or you fit. Because I know some dude, he was fit and his children were looking kind of flumpy, and I'm like, you look silly. You look silly.
So you're telling me that because I buy myself a $85,000 Birkin bag, I can't buy my child a $10 purse?
I know what I said.
I'm
That's not what she said.
I,
Mm-mm,
I'm asking for clarification. Y'all ain't gonna
mm-mm.
double team on me today.
That's not what
Sorry,
she
y'all.
said. She
I'm
said there's nothing wrong with giving your child expensive gifts, especially if that child is doing well in
No,
school.
but she
If
also
the,
said, if you're doing it for you, do it for the
No,
child.
I'm talking about your appearance. If you
your
dress,
parents,
because I
yes,
can't stand when people are, your hair done and the child hair not done.
yeah.
I'm not saying you got a $2,000 weave and you got to go buy the child $2,000 weave, but if you got your hair done, make sure the child's hair is done. No,
Okay, we got 2 minutes
because
more to talk about this topic.
I have perfume that's expensive. I don't buy it for my children. They get little body spray from Bed Bath and Beyond. But I feel like if I can handle it, if I could pay for it, even if I did buy them expensive stuff, then I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with them giving their child that stuff. I mean, I feel like the child gonna be at a disadvantage mentally growing up. They're not gonna have an appreciation for things, especially if their well runs dry.
And with the parents like from the My Sweet 16 that series, those were usually affluent families, so they could definitely afford it.
Right.
Right, but
If
I
I had
think
one for Easy E daughter.
I,
Come
I
on.
think I think it also puts pressure on kids to want those things, and I just feel like when you're in the public eye, I think I don't have a problem with it, but I think you should. I want to say something real quick about what Ashley just said. That's a major turnoff for a guy to a girl. When you see a girl and she is she looked like she just came out of magazine,
And
and
her
you see her
kids,
children, and they look like
homeless.
homeless children.
They were
It
sleeping
is
under a magazine.
it's a look, they swat roaches with magazines. It is a major turnoff because you say to yourself, her priorities are messed up. A good man, if you see a woman not take care of her priorities are messed up. And I want to say also, God, Tom, it left me. Never mind.
That's okay.
I wanted to say one more thing.
Go ahead, 30 more seconds.
Because even with the Sweet 16 situations, because think about like Hispanic families, they go all out for the quinceañeras.
Yeah.
Or Jamaican families in the first birthday party.
But I think no matter what level you're on, it's gonna be something. Because I remember my cousin had her Sweet 16, and I was thinking, oh, she's setting a bar. They're not super rich, but it's still gonna be some child that comes and they're gonna say, "Oh, I wish I had this." You are always gonna have somebody wanting.
Always. You can't please everybody.
Yeah,
it's not your responsibility to please everybody. It's not.
It's not even your responsibility to try because I'm not trying. I'm not.
Yeah, but I want to say this in 10 seconds, if I may. I do say that about shoes and stuff with kids, because some parents live through their children. Them kids want Spider-Man shoes. You got this little 2-year-old with $100 Jordans on his feet, and you take him to Walmart. That kid would kick them Jordans off in a minute because his favorite hero was on the shoes. I do think there should.
They light up.
Yeah, or they light up. So I think that there is some. You got to ask yourself, and I'm talking about people that I know that are not wealthy. People I know who are just trying to splurge at the family get together, but they can't pay their light bill.
Okay, let's shift from kids to adults. So apparently people are upset with yes, we do have talking time limits. Each topic is 3 minutes. So after that, you're done.
Oh no, I mean each person like talking, like you only get 30 seconds to get out your point, and we need to move on to the next person. That's what I thought you meant.
You know what? That's even better. Because
I'm like,
good luck, Jay. Good luck.
I tell you what.
All right. So the topic now, we're moving.
Well, I'm gonna tell you ahead
that
of
is
time.
better word, huh?
I'm telling you that ahead of time that because I have my stuff written down, and mine's gonna take about 1.5 minutes for the topic for today.
Well, you might have to reclaim your time.
Well, I'll yield my time to Dr. Jackson then.
You're committed to this broadcast if you pre-write your answers. Wow.
Because you know what we're talking about. Okay, so the next we're going to shift to adults. The Beehive might be buzzing, but they're upset with Beyonce because Beyonce posted this thing apparently about she and Jay-Z went out for his birthday. She spent $200,000 on one bottle of wine, and people are like, basically, you showing off. That's a waste of money. Da 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 da. Your thoughts on that?
Why are you watching her pocket?
First, Ashley, and your time starts now.
Oh Lord, I feel like, are you silly? Of course she has money. Do we not think that she doesn't have the money to do that? What are you upset about? Her concerts sell out everywhere she go. Because I'm a pocket watcher. You paying at least $100 to get up in there. The place holds $10,000. I'm just saying at the very least, you could be in the
nosebleed seats.
Yeah, nosebleed. I'm not talking about people on the floor. I'm saying everybody paying nosebleed.
At $100 at Beyonce, you sweeping. You pay $100 to sweep.
No, people got it for $100.
But yeah, they cut into my time. $100, 10,000 people sold out. Of course, she got the money. She controls both the vendors outside. The I Hate Beyonce t-shirt seller, she owns them. I Love Beyonce shirt seller, she owns them. Every time you go in there, so of course she could spend $200,000 on a bottle of champagne wine or one bottle of beer. And if I had it, I'd do it too. Put that in your
let's say 500 guests at her show pay for that one bottle of wine. Because tickets are around $400-$500 for a ticket at her shows on average. Jay, you're up. Or whoever wants to go next. Let me know.
I think you worried about something that had nothing to do with you. She wasn't never going to buy you a $200. That's my same answer. She wasn't going to do it for you. Why are you so upset about that? Should she have given it to charity? how far does $200,000 go with someone with that reach? You know.
All right, Doc Jackson.
You know me. I'm just like, why are you watching her pockets? What at the end of the day, why are you watching her pockets? She's not spending it on you. It's fine. Let her do what she want to do. They got the money for it. If she want to do that for her husband, that helped to bring her, boost her, and get her where she is, along with that, then let her do that.
Chad.
So previously, for another birthday, Beyonce bought him a G3 or a G4. It's a jet. So I used to frequent clubs and speakeasies or like nice lounges, looking for like mixology bars and like really nice drinks. And there's a alcohol called Louis the 13th. You probably seen it.
I was just talked about that yesterday, and I'm taking some of your time, so I'm gonna pause it.
So me as a working citizen, even though I never bought a shot, I thought about buying a shot. Like, I'm feeling good, I might spend $100 on the shot of Louis just to say I did it. And her scale is that much bigger, so $200,000 bottle, and your dude is Jay-Z. She has to make a statement. She can't buy a regular, you know what I mean? Like for that, and they might have a stake in that company. So it's just not how we spend money. They spend money different. It's just not.
I see it as how Denzel said. You ain't never seen a U-Haul truck behind a hearse. I'm sure they tuck money away for their kids. I'm sure there's money tucked away for them kids. Yeah. Plenty of money. I'm gonna have fun with my money. If I get Beyonce, Jay-Z, I ain't even gotta get that rich. I can get Nick Cannon wealthy.
Billionaires.
Don't worry about me. Don't know what I'm doing with my money. It's mad, okay?
And I feel like the saltiness comes from the fact that you realize you bought part of that bottle.
That's
and
it.
You can't get none of it. You realize you didn't get all that.
Shot that Chad was talking about.
Right. Is that you can't even get $100 shot. But you done went to that concert. You done bought your little glitter sequence outfit. You done did all that. And now you realize I helped pay for that bottle.
Now they on and like the church members that see Pastor in a new car on Sunday. I bought that car.
Right. And I'm struggling but that difference is I'm struggling over here. All right. So the next topic is Black China and Tiger. They were in a custody battle or whatever. Y'all know who Black China is. She's shaped like a wisdom tooth. Black China and I'm sorry. And Tiger, they settled their custody dispute. And Black China gets no child support.
Good. Oh, I said.
Well, go ahead then.
I think that even though she is a born again Christian, she says, and she's been changing her life around. Her and her baby, that Tiger and Rob, they had the children most of the time. Like they were able to prove that when she was in the club and doing stuff that they were doing for the children. She wanted these wealthy men to take care of her because she had their children, but they still had the kids most of the time, and that just doesn't work like that.
Okay. Anybody else?
I was going to ask that question. What's the arrangement with who gets the children?
I'm looking it up right now.
That was the question I was going to ask. So if they have them, then
they have joint custody. It says they have joint custody.
Oh yeah, he ain't got to pay no.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So Tiger will not pay child support. King spends Monday through Friday with Dad. Friday through Monday with China. Tiger don't pay child support. They have custody.
He has the majority of the time, and it's been. Yeah.
So he should be getting child support technically.
And that's what both of her baby daddies said in the beginning when this started 2 years ago. They said, we're not asking you for a dime, but you don't get to get child support. Because she was like, well, even though they have most of the time, when the kids come to me, they should have a certain level of life that he should keep up. And I said to myself, that's silly. Everybody remember when Reverend Ron came out? Them kids was living in a mansion, but when they used to go to their mama house, she was in like a 2-bedroom apartment in the Bronx, but she didn't have the children, you know?
I agree.
So he has the kids how often?
Monday through
Friday.
Wow, so she gets only 2 days a week.
Well, she
has them Friday to Monday.
Yeah,
Saturday,
Friday, 7
Saturday,
p.m. to Monday, 7 a.m.
Sunday, Saturday to Monday. Saturday to Monday.
Saturday, I'm sorry. So yeah, she don't never have them.
Basically, that she has them every weekend,
Wow.
and he has
But
them
you
during
want
the
that
week.
man to put her in a mansion.
You said what?
But you want that man to put her in a mansion
She already got money. She
and pay her
lives in the
thousands
mansion.
a month.
Wow.
Okay, let's talk that pastor in Texas. Have you been swallowed up?
No,
Have you ever been swallowed up?
What was
So
he?
I see that somewhere today.
have you ever been swallowed?
I saw Chris Brown do a
Yeah.
reenactment. What was he talking about? What was the actual
what was the message? I don't know what the message that TD Jakes was
right?
talking about.
TD Jakes was talking about being swallowed up in disappointment, but someone went and found that message after his P. Diddy thing, and it just didn't
Mm-hmm.
age well. It just did not age well at all. It actually was a really good message, but if I was his media team, that would be scrubbed from the face of the internet because it didn't age well at all.
It can't be wiped. It's in everything now.
But I would, if I was on the media team, I'd be looking for other stuff though. I'd be
Right.
taking other stuff down.
Yeah. Because
But in that case, everything has to come down because I feel like everything can be used however the internet wants to use it.
yeah, Chris Brown definitely won with that.
Yeah, he won with that. That was hilarious. So his allegations with Diddy, he's denying them. But I feel like a lot of what he's saying, and some people have posted it, that what he's saying is very reminiscent of one Eddie Long. Similar in nature, similar in verbiage, that kind of stuff. So what are your thoughts on that?
My thought, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ash.
My thought is I'm sorry, my dental work is just really getting the best of me. I'm treating it like how God told David to deal with Saul. At one point he was anointed, so don't touch it. I don't comment on nothing. Because even if he has fallen off or it is true or whatever, I do believe at one point he started in a sincere place. And so I'll treat it like that. We know Saul went to the left, but God said, leave him alone.
I pray that it is false, but not just for T.D. Jakes, his wife, his family, but the body of Christ. People are always looking for a reason to give the church a black eye. Yeah. And so as a churchman myself, I pray that it is false. But I did take a lesson in this. Even if T.D. Jakes was not a power bottom as they described him, even if he wasn't a top tier top as some have described him, I will say that the lesson is, why is T.D. Jakes, who's a classic holiness preacher, at P. Diddy's parties with earrings in his ear, and he never dresses or wears those things in his church on Sunday morning? I think what it does teach, there is a separation that needs to happen, because had he not been at these, because what are you? I can understand T.D. Jakes, Diddy being at your church, but they have not found one picture of Diddy there. Why are you there at all of his parties? I think that is something that he needs to do.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think that's a good point.
That is a really good point.
You got to be separated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or one person needs to attend. Y'all need to attend each other's events.
Right. Why is Diddy never at Dallas at your church? That don't make sense. If you were witnessing to him. Yeah.
All right. Last topic. Name a couple, and this is the topic yet, but name a couple that you feel like, man, them people would never cheat on each other.
Tabitha Brown
and Chance. Okay.
I don't know
that one. I'm gonna agree with that one.
With Chance.
I don't trust Chance either.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
TD Jakes and Sarita. No.
So my couple was Papoose and Remy Ma. Because I feel like Papoose.
She just got caught cheating on him like last week.
I know.
Papoose, I didn't even know that. But my thought was Papoose won't cheat, but Remy Ma show will.
And I didn't even right. So what do you think about, because Papoose was there during her prison stint.
Yeah, you can't trust a Caribbean woman, no. Oh, I thought I was muted.
Strike him off the list.
Oh, that part.
Ooh.
So how do you feel about that?
I don't think that Remy Ma look like the type.
I don't know what happened in that situation. It was shocking. If I could give a couple, though, my couple would be the Obamas. I honestly believe that Barack has been faithful to her. I don't believe he let the political life. Even now, he ain't hanging around. He didn't even go to Jimmy Carter's wife
I
funeral.
agree with that.
Yeah, I believe Barack is in love with her for real, and he appreciates how she built him. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Remy Ma situation, though, there's something to that we don't get. There's something to that we're not getting. Like, I understand Ashley saying she looks like the type, but the way they loved each other for so long, I don't think she just woke up and became that. Excuse me. She's been lying. Either she's been lying about it and we just found out, or something happened.
Or maybe she was just loyal because he was loyal to her, and then she was like, "Oh well, I'm out now. I ain't got to be loyal because I don't need nobody to write me letters and take my phone calls every day." But I think you were right. You're right in the respect that maybe I put it on. Papoose would never cheat. Papoose loves her, and I didn't really take into account Remy Ma. But I was like, "Girl, you cheating on Papoose? You know how many of us want Papoose? Want a Papoose?
Want a Papoose, not Papoose.
That's what I'm talking about. Want a Papoose?
Right, want a.
Call me." So, any other comments on the topics that we talked about today?
I got a brother.
No, but it's sad I can't think of another couple. I'm upset.
The only couples that come to mind are people that I know in real life, and
Angela Bassett and her husband.
yeah, it's Mr. and Mrs. Willis who live a couple miles away. He used to lead a youth group of mine, and when I first met them, I was like 16 years old. So imagine a 16-year-old and just what's going on inside, and the way that he, I don't know, just moved around her. I was like, man, this guy loves his wife.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, they're still together, and I couldn't imagine ever infidelity being a part of their story.
He's not cheating. She is, though. Good guys.
I agree with. Stop it. I agree with.
I agree with you.
Who
With
you just said Angela Bassett and her
and
husband,
Courtney.
Courtney.
Yeah.
You know who else?
And Denzel.
I don't know about
Washington, but Sterling K. Brown and his wife.
Denzel cheating.
Denzel
Really?
cheating. I don't.
Or he did.
Unfortunately, I mean, you can't be that smooth.
With a Caucasian woman.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I don't
One
see
of
that.
every flavor.
I don't see that.
Mendez.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
Samuel L. Jackson and his wife.
Who?
Samuel L. Jackson and his wife. They've been married 40 years.
What does
I
that
think
mean?
Sam slid
You think Sam?
early in his career. I feel like he probably slid.
Especially when he was on drugs.
Boy, look at that. Black people never let you forget you was a crackhead, boy.
He talk about it. I wouldn't have known if he wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't lie.
One thing, you ain't been on crack in 30 years. Every time you come around, your grandma always talk about, hand me my purse, baby. Here come.
Right. My purse here. But I think Sterling K. Brown and his wife. I think that's a faithful couple.
Who?
Sterling K. This Is Us.
This Is Us, the black dude.
Randall from This Is Us and his wife. His wife is on the show with Jill Scott.
Oh yeah.
The First Wives?
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's the one that.
You
Pass.
don't. Don't
Yeah, I just got to that part. Oh, he's married to her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh man. Well, I think that. Hold on now, because
Ashley inboxed the man 10 times. Look at her.
Now she like, I know why you didn't. Oh my gosh.
no, I feel like hold on. Time out on the Sterling. I feel like we give him that because he had such a good role in This Is Us. And we
No.
can't separate that black love that we saw, because that was the case. I would say that's the couple I picked. That man is just he took that role and he just became
Randall.
he lives the Randall life. He makes
He
sure
legit-
to be Randall-esque.
He lives that life. His wife, he talks about how fine his wife is, how good she was to him.
After the role, was he doing that before the role? That's the question.
He was doing that, but yeah, he's been talking about his wife, been talking about her.
Yeah. But I've seen men do that and cheat on their wives, so I don't know.
Yeah, I take
Well,
around.
I'm still sticking to them.
All right. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying that that's not what I'm.
Randall would never.
I hope not.
His name is Sterling.
Right. Right. All right. So do what you want with your money. Okay. So our next topic. Well, we'll be back with our next topic. Yeah.
While you're waiting, while you're commenting, while you're laughing at something somebody just said, please be kind and share the show to your page. Thank you for the support, and we look forward to doing more.
Okay. So we're talking about disciplining someone else's child. So this is basically what? So Chad, you have a son or a daughter, and then you start dating someone new. Ashley, D, you know you're who the daddy. I just saw your name. Who the daddy? You have children, and now you bring somebody else into your life. He's not the biological father. She's not the biological mother. There was this video where a guy said, and I can't post it, but he said, "That's my household. If I whoop them kids, I whoop them kids. He can whoop them after. He can get them a second time. But if they at my house, I'm whooping them. I'm going hand that hide." So, what are your thoughts on your husband? He could be your husband or your boyfriend, your wife or your girlfriend disciplining your child.
Oh, can I go first?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. So initially, there's several factors that are at play. One, the age of the child when this person comes into their life, the gender of the child or sex of the child, how active or inactive the biological parent is, the biological father or mother is.
Mm-hmm.
If so, how do they co-parent? How do the people who, the two biological parents, how do they co-parent? The relationship that the child has with their father or parent. Sorry.
That's fine.
In my situation, I'm going to talk, does this man already have children?
Okay.
Because you, a person who's never had a child, don't know anything about kids, and then suddenly you coming in and trying to, take over the situation. That's another factor in place. So does he have children? What are the household gender roles? Like how do you portray your gender roles in your household? That's one thing. Is the man an authority figure in the household? Like the mannerisms, the parenting approach of the male figure. What is his leadership style? Because there's four different leadership styles. There's four different leadership styles that for parenting specifically. There's like paternalistic, which is the authoritarian.
Yeah. Girl, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
You gonna discipline? You gonna let a man whoop your child or no?
I've seen both, so I can't. To me, it depends on how. It depends. It depends, because if this man is in this child's life since the child is 2 years old, and that child doesn't have the other parent is not active, so there's just that's why I said there's different things that are in place.
Right.
There's different factors. If he's this person's child from when they're 2 years old, that's their daddy.
Okay, so under what factors would, or let me ask other people real quick. And I apologize for cutting you off, but I want to get into each part of what you were saying.
Okay,
you had a lot of questions, but I feel like those will come in very handy in a little bit.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Ashley, Chad, Jace not there, but ask the chat. Did y'all want to?
I'm gonna do a hard no. I'm gonna do a hard no. No physical punishment from him. And I'm speaking at the age of my children today, because obviously I'm not gonna get married to somebody else in there too, because their life is gone.
Exactly.
So my girls are, well, I'm gonna speak if it was after March 11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh yeah, then no.
That's the hard no. Don't touch my children.
They teenagers at that
I would
point.
even say that. Don't touch our children. I'm gonna let you claim them. You can have full claim on them, but you need to get verbal correction.
Yeah.
Verbal discipline.
Those are teenagers at that point.
Right.
I have a
think
question though. I have a
You
question.
need
about
hold on. But so I feel like I would love for him to come and give fatherly advice and fatherly love and affection and fatherly correction outside of
Physical.
physical punishment. You can take stuff away from them. You can put them on punishment. You can say, hey, you can't go here or you can't go there. But are you going to get a belt or your hand and spank them? Not happening. Not happening. I would divorce over something like that.
I have a question. If the children are still at an age where they can be spanked or are spanked by the mom, does that change that for you and Danielle?
No.
No, because these children, because like for example, her children at her age, like for example, my son is 13. No, but of course, like my daughter is 5.
She's so adorable.
Yeah,
If she did,
I got a short interjection. I mean, when you proposed the question, Brandy, you said discipline.
Mm-hmm.
I did not associate discipline with
with physical.
physically touching or reprimanding the child.
I think because of the
Right.
scenario.
There's levels to it, but I wanted to talk spanking at this.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So
I
if it is spanking, then I'm on Ashley's side. You don't touch my child. Because there's degrees to that too, right? Somebody knows how to spank without hurting.
Yeah.
Another person is like, no, I'm gonna spank that ass, and they knock the kid down. No.
And I feel like, because when I hear discipline, and that's why I answer all of it. I want you to discipline. I want him to discipline.
Yes.
I want him to discipline where it's productive and not breaking their spirit. And I think that whooping a child, spanking a child, even though I do spank when I'm like to that level, like I told you 10,000 times and you just not getting it. But I feel like it's never done to break your spirit. It's never done as a sport in front of people, or even verbal correction shouldn't be done at a certain level in front of people, because you have
Humiliate them.
that you're growing up into being a person. I was gonna say woman because all of my girls I have all girls, but yeah, no, I feel like and I would say even if my child was in whooping age, I just don't see you walking in doing it unless I'm like pregnant with a child when I meet you, or that child is under 1 year old, like they haven't even turned 1 yet. Other than that, I just feel like leave that up to me.
I feel a little different with the age.
There
I feel a
was
little
a
different with
topic.
the age. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
There was a thing where a study that said 40%.
Brandy, I'm sorry.
What?
I keep getting phone calls, so that's why I have to go back out and refresh to come back in. I don't want you to think I'm just.
Oh, okay. There was a thing where it says a study, and it says child abuse is 40 times more likely when single parents find new partners.
Yeah.
Do you think that's more on the male side or on the female side?
I'm gonna say both. I remember when I lived in Louisiana, and it was this couple, and it was his biological son, and they were raising him. And I ain't gonna say no names, but I remember every name. And to me, it felt like she was abusing him. She liked to see him get in trouble. To me, as somebody outside looking. And I told my then husband, I'm like, something's not right. I'm like, watch how she like instigates him getting in trouble. Like she's like she another kid telling on him. And when he would get in trouble, she would be out there. He would whoop the son. She never whooped him. but he would whoop the son for her, and she would be out there with us laughing and taking pleasure in it. So I think that that's even abuse because he's over correcting his child at
Right.
your command.
Exactly.
And
And
so
I
I feel like that other person, and I've seen that twice from women. I seen one woman, she would correct the biological child of the husband and not her two children. She corrected them on different scales, and I witnessed that with my own eyes. And I felt like I that little boy got a bad. It wasn't good to me. I feel like women sometimes be too emotional. I think men might be more heavy-handed, but women do it from an emotional level. It just I don't know. I yield my time.
I've seen it on both sides as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm not necessarily going to talk about my personal stuff, but I've seen it where, for example, the mother would do things specifically trying to get the child in trouble and then get him in a state of humiliation or get him scolded or punished or physically hit for any reason. Then I've also seen a situation where they have a stepdad in the situation and he would physically abuse this kid to the point that he ended up in the hospital.
So I feel like men do it as a point of being in control of the house,
Right.
and women do it in a point of trying
Manipulation.
to be positioned in the house.
That's
So
good.
I'm trying to be above. I want to be more important than your child, basically. And I feel like, but I don't think you're not whooping my kid. I don't care how old that joke is. Don't put your hand on my child. Let me do that. I'll do that. Because coming from you, it's gonna be, I feel like it'll be taken differently than coming from me.
It's
You
this.
can discipline them, go to your room, but watch how you talk to my child.
Well, I mean,
Like I was in a situation
let's
where like, go to your,
let's
just go to your, I was like, first of all, who
But
is
I've also
you?
seen the good side of that as well.
let me be a little crazy. So this is the link that I sent you, Brandy. It's a mind shifting book. That's why I think it's awesome. So let's say it wasn't a kid, and somebody hits your spouse, or like tries to bully your spouse. Do you think that someone else should interject at any point? I don't think so. Like
Wait,
there's
say that
certain
again.
things that you keep personal in those relationships, and you don't okay it or admonish it or like advocate for it.
For example, if the son is beating on his mama.
Yeah, you can't.
Wait, if the son is beating on his mom,
That happens too.
I
Go
missed
ahead.
something. I want to make sure I understand. That's
Yeah, I
something.
missed
Oh, and she can't defend herself.
You're saying a kid is hitting the mom.
Yeah.
Well, interceding, stopping that from happening, yes. But anyone putting hands on the kid who was hitting his mom, I still say no.
Okay.
Wait, I'm confused.
minute,
I'm
hold on
very
now,
confused
I'm
right now.
confused.
Chad, you have to explain that better, bud. You're saying what?
What I'm saying is,
If my son was hitting me and I was married to a man, is it okay for him to hit my son because he was hitting me?
Is it okay for him to step in at that point?
intercede to stop, but you don't hit back. Like hitting, physical violence in retaliation or response to it is not how you resolve violence. That's not how you quench that anger that's going on in that kid. And I'm talking about a kid. So stopping it from happening, yes, but
There's levels. But go ahead.
there are levels.
No,
my cousin works in I would just say like a revolving foster home, and these kids have thrown chairs right at adults and really done some damage, and you lose your mind where it's like, I can't be composed, I need to take this kid down, but I just can't in my heart ever agree to have an adult
You throwing chairs at me, the police can take you away. Period. I ain't gotta put hands on you. Cuffs to go on you. Ash, you want to say?
I think that for me it would be the dynamics. So my child hit me. My child. I'm going to hit my child back.
On
And
site.
I'm not doing it as a form of I'm doing it to put order back. Don't ever do that.
Say this is a 16-year-old child who's bigger than you, and you can't really.
My child
Mhm.
hits me. Because two of my children are one of my child one child is a slightly taller than me. The other one, we look eye to eye. I don't care if you, because I'm only 5 foot. You could be 5'7". You hit me, I'm hitting you back. Now, if I was a foster parent, that's different. If a foster child came in, because they come with different baggage. I don't know their life story. I know my child life story. So there's no reason for you to do that with me. I know what I've been to you all your life. But a child off the street, I think that deserves some more investigation. That deserves a different kind of grace, because me hitting my child back is a form of grace, because I'm not going to try to take you out. But you're not doing, yeah. I mean, I could be. I don't think I'm wrong on that one. I tell my children all the time, because this starts at a young age. Don't do it. My pride wouldn't let you win that.
Can I ask a?
They could jump me. Then my pride wouldn't let them win that.
Can I ask a difficult question, which I don't know the answer to?
Go ahead, Chad.
Ashley, let's fast forward 10 years or 15, and
Yes.
your child is in a relationship.
Yes.
And domestic violence shows up. Would you still have the opinion that, yeah, if my child hits you, new spouse, person, hit them back and continue the violence?
No, because I'm not raising my children to hit. I'm not raising my children to hit their spouse or anybody. And like I said, when it comes to my children getting spanked, that is the last resort for me. So that's why I say if my child hits me, that would be a shocker.
It's never happened, you're saying?
I'm sorry?
It's never happened, you're saying?
No. Oh, no.
And won't.
And it won't. That would be a shocker. And I will respond. But
it's also because she has girls.
If my child is in a domestic situation, whether provoked or not, if I'm over their house and her husband hits her, I'm gonna help. One time, she go back to him. You obviously like it. I'm gonna help one time, because I feel like I'm raising you enough to know this is not healthy, and you shouldn't be hitting him. And I'm gonna let her know, what are you doing? If he call me, hey, Ma, your daughter just hit me, put her on the phone. And I might hit her for him, but he better not hit my child.
So domestic violence, we're gonna get back to that in another topic. Let's focus on.
I want to say.
Go ahead.
One, what are you eating, Brandon? It looks good, whatever it is.
Corn.
Orange? One heck of an orange. Second thing, two things about this. I want to go back a little bit. One, it's shocking to hear 3 women say that under no circumstance that a stepfather spanked their children.
I didn't say that.
She didn't say that. She didn't say that.
Or 2 women say a stepfather could not spank their children, even if they're at spanking age, was shocking to hear.
Because I was going to tell a situation, but she had come in. But go ahead.
Yeah, but because someone who's been a stepfather twice, I think that my love for a child that comes from the woman I'm with is exactly the same as my child. And I think that to assume that a stepfather could not spank your children, but you trust him to spank his own children, I think it's interesting, because what happens, you're at work, our children are here together, my child, your children. They do something that's spanking worthy, and I'm going to spank mine and look at yours. Not going to happen. I tell anyone.
You say, wait till your mama get home.
But see, but that brings me to my second point in this. Is the mother then obligated to spank that child every time the stepfather says, I would have spanked them for this? They got to get it.
No,
and no.
not.
Oh,
But
that
my theory I will. If you spank your child, I'll be more inclined to believe that my child needs to be spanked. But don't you talking about my child needs to be spanked? I'll be. The thing is, and I hate to say this, kind of sort in a way. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. The love you have for your birthed child is never going to equal the love you have for a stepchild.
I
I'm going to
agree with
I don't care
disagree.
what nobody
I'm
says.
going to disagree.
I disagree with that, Brandon.
I have to
Well,
disagree.
As
like I said, I
somebody,
don't care what nobody says. So
No,
Can
I'm
I,
gonna help you, Brand. That's
and
not
I,
true.
hold
And
on.
I don't believe she believes that. I don't believe Brandy believes that.
Can I step in also?
I know what you're gonna say. I think I know what you're gonna say.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Can I step in also?
Yeah. Go ahead, girl.
Because, like, for example, one, I'm a product of, I'm a stepchild, and I was raised by my stepdad. My stepdad, he punished all of us. He did the same disciplinarian for all of us. Same thing for one of my close friends. Like, her husband has been in her life, her and her child's life, even before he was basically, they were high school sweethearts. They separated. She ended up getting pregnant by somebody else. Whatever the case is, but that man has been in that child's life since she was pregnant with him, basically. And that has been his father. His father's not in his life. That man is doing everything for that child. I feel like he has all the right to discipline a child because he disciplines a child and he treats him like it's his son.
yeah.
I agree with that. I think that, like I said, if I'm pregnant or the baby's under one, sure. But I feel like Brandy doesn't believe that because you love nieces and nephews like they're your own. So I can imagine if you have a child, I don't think that you would say, "Oh, I don't love y'all." Like, I think that
Have
once
these
you become,
kids.
no, no,
Probably would, though. A
no,
lot of aunts and uncles actually do that.
no.
Exactly.
I think that it would not be where, oh, I love this, I love
You
you
don't want
less.
to believe that.
No, I mean, I'm not even talking about my children. I'm talking about our first niece and nephew. There's a different. We felt parent like we were their parent, and I have children after them. I still love them like they're my own. I love them equally to my children.
And you discipline them like they're yours, right?
I do. I do. I say what I say the same stuff I would say to my child. I make sure I say to them because I that's what I look at them. But I feel like, yeah, in Jay's scenario, if he's home with the children, both our children act up, either wait for me to discipline your child and we can discipline at the same time because I'm not being uh what's it called? I don't have double standards in it. I'm also not spanking your child. I'm
Right.
not doing that.
And I tell
I'm
you,
not spanking, and I'm not spanking nobody else's child. I've been hit in the face by some dude child. I didn't spank that child because that's not my child.
yeah, you should have.
It would have been
I'm not
spanking at
no,
that time. It would have been a fight.
You,
no
I ain't
because
I
spanking
guess
my
it might
baby.
be a cultural
yeah,
thing for us because in Jamaica, even the neighbors can spank your kids.
and no, but it,
Listen, it might be I think it's a cultural
I
thing.
think that's definitely a cultural thing. America.
America used to be like that.
it
America,
used to be.
Everybody can discipline your kid if your kid is
I
acting
feel
up.
like anything that first of all, when you have stepchildren and you give them a ride to your car to and from school, that's not a step car. When you spend your money on groceries, those aren't step groceries. When you
Mhm.
spend your time seeing about them, that's not step time. That's real time. That's real money. That's real groceries. Any child, and I have 25 godchildren, and all of their parents know I will spank every last one of them. And because spanking and disciplining from a person that you trust that is right and righteous is something that God instituted to get children together. And
And you,
so, because guess what? The police will beat him. How you married to a man and you won't let him discipline your son that's
I'm not
14?
letting the police discipline my kid either.
You ain't got to let the police discipline. You don't control
Right.
that.
Right.
You
But
don't
I
control.
control my dude
But
spanking my
but
child.
but if you don't see the value in him disciplining him before the police get to him, someone that loves your child and loves you, you would rather him be soft on your child, not discipline your child, and get to a situation where down the road the police they're not gonna care. They'll kick his teeth out. If you're with somebody and you're laying down with him, you know that person is not gonna abuse your child. I feel like
I,
that I feel like that a step we're talking about someone you're married to. Someone you're married to. A stepfather living in the house, not being able to discipline, if it is physical, is completely bananas to me. Because I'm gonna do with your children just like I do for mine. I'm gonna feed them if they're hungry. I'm gonna take them to school when they need it. I'm gonna talk to them when they need it. But if they do something that requires a spanking, and I'm the man of this house, I'll be darned if I gotta wait on my wife to get home to spank children in a house that I'm in.
And I think that's why it's important to have conversations before you marry somebody. Because if him forbid you and I had got married, Jay, and that was your stance, and I didn't know that, and you spanked my child, now we gonna have a physical altercation because
thank you too.
I feel like that's a bit much. And secondly, to equate a son or a child that doesn't get spanking, so you rather the law discipline him. Why you gotta be a criminal? Now he just a juvenile, delinquent.
Because I ain't let his stepdaddy whoop him.
There's different ways to discipline.
No.
Everything doesn't have to be. Hold on. Everything doesn't have to be physical. Everything doesn't have to be you putting your hands on that person. There's different ways of disciplining. And then again, I want to say that I'm speaking as a mother of 4 girls. Would I feel differently if I had 4 boys that were 11, 12, 13, 14? Probably so.
But I asked the question.
That ain't my life.
I asked the question, if you don't believe in him spanking, and I don't think anyone answered, is it on demand when your husband, who you trust, who is righteous, says he or she needs a spanking? Is it on
You
demand?
can tell me that.
Is no. I said no.
Just like it isn't your responsibility to have to spank your child just off the word I said. Just my
yes, it is.
Well, according to me, you don't have to. And hold on. Let me
tell you.
Don't you? And I'm gonna go with what Ashley said. My mom is notorious for disciplining us differently. Notorious. She did not have to whoop all of us. She did not have to. Some of us she could just talk to and we'd be like, God, no, man, and it'd be done. And I like one of my sisters, she should discipline them differently. I don't think she does, but she should discipline them differently. Because as an observer, I see what one child would really hurt them or punish them, as opposed to her methods of discipline. And then to go back, also one more thing to say, I have sisters or siblings rather that I would not be okay with spanking my children. I have some that I'd be fine with them spanking them, but some don't do that. But you could tell me.
But you can also tell by the person that you're involved with, like what their temperament is, and you should be able
somebody who could be abusive to my child.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you?
And if I found out that you could be abusive to my child, and the only thing that's holding you back is me saying, "Don't spank my child," I still couldn't be with you. If my son is 8, my baby boy is 8, my 2 older children are 15. My 2 older children are past spanking age. If look at everybody looking. Okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
My phone don't ever. I don't even have that as a ringtone. It was so loud. I'm looking for a phone that doesn't.
Me too. I'm like, they're not lit up.
Yeah. But so I think for me, my son is 8 and he's still in spanking age, according to me and my family's culture. If I got married to somebody a year from now, who I just met today, and he's 9, and my son was disrespecting her, and it was worthy of a spanking, I pray to God she give it to him. You know what that proves to me? She wants my son to be correct, and she loves him like a mother, and she disciplines him like a mother. If he spanks age,
that'll be a red flag. You just met her.
I don't know about 1 year.
Yeah, you met her and she's spanking your child. That's a red flag. You are
1 year is too quick.
Yeah, like, you're not about to be disciplining my child. The best I got for you, if I'm with a dude that has children, which I don't want a dude that has children, FYI, so if you are fatherless, come on over.
You mean childless?
Childless. Oh, childless. Yeah, come on over.
And motherless.
Motherless, maybe. But I feel like the best time to do is I'm gonna let you know.
Kids.
You said what?
A lot of the childless guys want kids.
Yeah, I got 4. We can share, but just don't hit them.
No, they want more kids. You gonna have more
This
kids?
person says that's why I mentioned avoid dealing with women with children. Too many stipulations on how to deal with their children. That's right. You want to unite as one, but still handle things divided. That doesn't add up.
Who said that?
Stelson.
Yep, we're gonna be united as one, but I'm gonna be the only one spanking these children if they need a spanking. I just
Well,
feel like
in your case, Ashley, though, your kids are beyond spanking age.
right.
So
Don't be hitting
that's
my
not.
children.
See, mine is still in spanking age.
I think the max spankage you're gonna do is a pop to the butt.
That's
That's
what I'm
it.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying go and all out beat my kid, but if she's touching something that she's not supposed to be touching, hell yeah, slap her on the hand and tell her take that back. Because listen, back in the day, because you had like when you had like Catholic school and all that stuff, them teachers would be able to slap your kids.
I don't see now. That's different.
I didn't like
I
that
feel
either.
like doing that, like put it stop.
But that's still
Yeah, I would prefer that over don't hit my child in the butt. Just okay, back up. But
yeah, but usually what it is
My
that
girl's
like,
old.
but that's still physical. That's still physical. That's you still because I'm not agreeing with them spanking because I don't spank my kid on the butt. Like usually if I slap her, it's usually on her hand to stop doing something.
But
And
she
it's
gonna
for
eat that
correction.
popcorn. I tell you now, she gonna eat her popcorn. She don't care what you do. They're just gonna eat that popcorn. She don't care.
Yeah, she does.
Because wow. Do you think that ain't lying?
My 13-year-old about to get a spanker right. My 14-year-old about to get a spanker right now. Get a spanking. It's past your bedtime.
I put on my boxing gloves for my son though. Anytime he acts up, I put on my boxing gloves.
Nah, my son have to get feel these knuckles. You're gonna feel this real skin. Ain't gonna be no cushioning because when you get older, you get taller than me. I gotta make sure you know. Not my mama. Not try my mama. Not at all. So I think I want to go back to Chad's question where he was like, if your child he done bucked up, he's much bigger than you.
Like for example, my son.
You're not. Well, he's not much bigger than you.
Yes, he is. I'm
He may be more
4'11".
stronger, but
I'm 4'11" and he's 5'6" right now, and he's getting taller. He's gonna be 6 foot something. So
Wow.
Is he 5'6"?
yes, he's
Oh,
5.
he looks
He's
shorter than
5'5".
that.
He's
But
5'5"
anyway,
right now.
so you have a child, he bucks up, and we're gonna do male child. He bucks up, and you ain't beating him. You're not beating him. You can hit him back, that's fine, but you're not gonna win. Do you allow your significant other to step in and rock old boy world? Not to the extent where he's like bleeding or dying, like that kind of stuff, but what do you feel about that? How do you handle that?
You say your son?
Huh?
Yeah, it's your son.
Would I allow my husband to hit my son?
Would you allow if he's beating if your son is on you, he's throwing
like,
hands and you trying to throw hands too, but you're not gonna win. He's stronger than you. You're not gonna win.
No, see, so like I said, for a son, I think it's different. I don't care if my son was 5. I would let my husband discipline him in that way.
Okay.
I would. So definitely if he's hitting me, you better whack-a-mole.
So that's why I said that was one of my things. I said the age of the child and the gender of the child.
You did say that. And I wanted to get to that. That's why I was like, wait. There's a lot going on in here. So
wow.
So you believe? So let me ask this real quick. Do you believe that if do you believe that a boy can come home later that you can allow certain things? So why is it okay for him to whoop your son or spank your son or discipline your son physically, but not your daughter? Because I don't want you to touch my son either.
I didn't. Well, that's an Ashley question because I don't have a problem with him disciplining my daughter.
Because
that's what I'm saying. Why is it? Oh, you're right. You didn't.
I think because one, these girls are teenagers. They're not about to be bent over for you to spank them. They're not. It's just you're not hitting them. I just feel differently about it. I think physically, a boy it can handle it. A man can speak to his mental. A man understands him better than I do, and that's why I always, even if like I do it with my girls, there's certain parts where I want male interaction because he's gonna speak a different language from me.
Mm-hmm.
But for a guy who's getting bigger, who needs discipline, I just see that different. Maybe that is a double standard. I don't know, but I just feel like that's totally different for a guy, for a boy.
I
Doesn't get, but women are equal. I never said that, so I never
no,
said.
he's saying that. That's what he's saying.
Well, he putting question marks as if he's like funny, comma. So he's like trying to imply
Yeah,
or
it's his
project that onto
implication.
me. I never said that. I'm not. I've always said I'm the weaker sex, and I want to be.
Hello.
So I
Very
don't know
much
what you're
so.
talking about. So that's for somebody else.
But I can't
Yeah,
I
if my
can't
daughter
see
was
someone discipline. I can't see someone disciplining any of my children. And maybe that's because I'm not a spanker. I tried to do it once and I
when
promise
they
you,
laughed at you.
when my mom said it hurts me more than it hurts you, I got it. It hurt me more than it hurt him. It really bothered me.
Brent,
Who
Most
child has I spanked?
most people
you
can't
pop my
promise that.
children all the time.
I popped them in jokingly or discipline.
No, if that's a joke,
Go
pop,
to the
then you
bedrooms and
heavy
ask them
handed.
has auntie ever whooped
Then
them.
you heavy handed.
Go ask them jokers have I ever
You
whooped
do
them.
it in joke, but you heavy handed.
I ain't never. I can. I don't. Now I'm not saying I won't, because I believe in a nice 10 and a half might get you in place. Some kids need to be disciplined differently. I needed to be spanked.
Get it
I
and
needed
get
it.
it.
I got
But
disciplined by everybody,
I
so
say what now?
I got disciplined by the principal of the school, aunties, uncles, everybody,
I
the
think
whole family.
I think if I do agree that it depends on where you come at in a kid's life.
That's the thing.
I
If
think that,
Lexi was 12,
But
I'd
does
be
it
like,
depend on
no.
gender?
but and I think it even I think gender matters slightly, but I also don't feel like even biological daughters should be spanked a lot by their father. So I feel like that's something that mothers should do. But I'm thinking if a
Don't
woman
put that
told
up there. Don't do it, Brandy. Don't even
I,
put that
it
up.
ain't. And ain't.
Go ahead.
I missed it. I want to see that now y'all not being true to the platform. We should at least be able to see the comment, even if we disagree with
Go
it.
then go on the
Did you see it?
then go on question time on,
Need you to be a
Facebook.
speed reader, sir.
Yeah. But I think for me, if I come into a girl's life, she got a 10-year-old. She says, "Hey, look, we're getting married. You can't beat Junior." Okay, I can't beat Junior. Junior grows up, 14 or 15. He's talking back to her, and I come home one day and he's blowing up at her. It would be interesting for her to say to me, "Nah, you're not gonna do nothing." You, because
You
guess
can
what?
say you can reprimand him.
Mm-mm.
Yes,
No. Because
That's
beat
what
him.
if I
I'm
catch that,
recommending.
if he's
Being
blowing up at his
physical.
mama, I'm not gonna nigga. I
You
kill
still
you.
can't. You still can't beat Junebug, but you can fight him. At that point, I don't want you to beat him. I
Hello.
want you to fight him. I don't want you. I don't want
Hello.
you to beat him. I want
But,
you to
but,
fight
but
him.
even if allowing me to spank him at 10 would have gotten me to a point where he never did that at 15.
Who's to say?
Says who?
There's a black man raising a black boy. Y'all tripping.
Yeah, there's a very big
Y'all
difference
tripping.
because you gotta start from when they're younger.
Y'all,
Because then
y'all,
he
y'all,
has that level of respect, knowing
this
that
type of
So
Daddy
y'all
situation.
right here
come
telling
home.
me that ain't no child who was raised by his daddy in a jailhouse now.
No,
Rightfully so.
no one's not saying
Yeah,
that. But what
that's
y'all are
so
saying is,
absolute though, Brandy.
yeah, y'all are saying
I'm
y'all
asking a
are
question.
setting up situations where black stepfathers and black stepsons are gonna be fist fighting each other. A man, how can I be the man of the house? You trust me with your money, you trust me with your body, you trust me with all things, but you don't trust me with your children?
Who said I trust you with my money? We got separate accounts. What you talking about?
I think that to say that, I think to say that whooping the child is the only way for him to respect you as you get older. I think that's interesting, but that's
No
the
one's saying,
implication. That's what's being implied. Oh, so
mm-mm.
I couldn't spank Junebug. So now when he beating your butt, Now what? It's
Now
like
you
what? I feel like when you walked into Junebug's life, get to know Junebug, befriend him,
We've done that. We've
form a
done
relationship to
you.
the point where he
your
respects
children and you
you,
have to spank them, correct?
to the point where that he respects you.
You've been with your children your whole life and you have to spank them, correct?
Every now and again, yeah.
Okay, then. So that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about I could befriend him. What I'm saying is there is a level of discipline that comes from spanking that is reserved for parents. And if you have stepped in that role as a parent, I don't see how you take anyone from that, male or female.
I have a question real quick.
I ain't spanking about the children.
I have a question real quick. As a child, who did you fear more or reverence
mama.
more? Your mom or your dad?
My mama.
In my house, it was my dad.
In my house, it was my mom.
In my house, it was my
Ashley?
dad.
Okay, you said it, Ashley.
Yeah, my mom. And can I say this real quick before we move on?
Men don't necessarily do that.
That's true, though.
Because we're girls.
My dad did
Y'all
not
talking about
put
your
the fear
dad.
of God in me, and my dad whooped us just fine.
Right. And I want
And we
to
didn't want his whoopings because they lasted for forever.
and they weren't even whoopings. They was horrible.
And
But-
even if they didn't spank us, my mom's word was stone. It was vibranium.
You guys are projecting.
Well, I'm not projecting. I'm basing off that comment. Men put the fear of God in your early. That's not a fact.
That's well,
But that's from a person who doesn't have a kid, though.
You said what?
That's from somebody who doesn't have a kid.
but the reason I know in my house, my dad, certain things my mom would let us get away with. But my dad would let us get away with. But if my mama said he needed a whooping, my dad would look at you and you knew she said it. That's it. If
Technically, it was your mom.
no,
But see,
but
this is the
You
thing,
controlled
though.
your dad.
Right. Yeah, you talk about you saying because everybody is going off of life experience. Your mom was raising two boys. I would dare to say if she had a daughter, she wouldn't have looked at your dad all the time and said whoop them. I'm sure she would have whooped her daughter. It's a difference when you're dealing with a boy versus a girl, and who's in the house to discipline them.
let me say this.
Because even for me, when I was in a 2-parent household, their dad didn't spank them. I had an issue with that. He popped them, but because he overdid, to me he was overdoing it. So it's like, if it need to be done, let me do it. And I don't even spank my nieces when they act up. The only ones I spank, my niece and nephew who live with me, who I actually had custody of. Those are the only ones that I spank, and I only did it while they were in my house. I don't spank other people's children. I don't care how close we are. I'll let your mama know.
I know dads in my neighborhood with girls, and they tear them up just the same way.
Me and
their boys.
my mom died when I was 8. Me and my brother at the 8, I was 10 and my brother was 12. So this is 2 years after my mom dies. Me and my brother are playing tonk. We cheat each other in tonk. We start running behind each other with a knife. We're home with my dad's girlfriend. They weren't even married. I run in the room, bust in the room. My brother's running behind me with a knife. She spanks us. She
was naked.
I think that is what shocked her. I honestly believe that had she had clothes on, she wouldn't have spanked us. But she spanked us. My brother gets on the phone, calls my grandmother, my mom's mom, and my aunt. They come over and they take us, and they're like, and I'm thinking to myself, this is something that we would have got a whooping from y'all just the same. And my dad said that night when my dad got off of work, he came to my grandma's house to pick us up. And my dad said to them, this lady has been with these boys, buying groceries, taking them to school, doing for them, laughing with them, taking them to the movies, watching them while I'm at work. And they were chasing each other with a knife. And you mean to tell me that even though that's something that all of you, because my mom had 8 sisters, would have beat them for, she was wrong for beating them? And maybe maybe I'm projecting. Because I don't see, now that I'm older, I don't think Miss Teresa was wrong. We needed our butts whooped, chasing each other with knives.
Miss Teresa somewhere right now talking about, thank you, Jay. Thank you. I love the Joe Daddy. Lord knows I do.
I can't
But
Stop
I
it.
beat them kids. They ever see me naked again. I definitely don't think my boyfriend is gonna be touching my kid. You my boy.
Not
Boy,
my boyfriend.
stop.
Not my boyfriend. He has to be my husband.
You so very temporary. You don't even know how temporary you are. You don't even know how close you are to being out the door.
But the funny
You
thing
trying to whoop
about it
somebody's
is
kids.
the
Huh?
funny thing about it is if like my kids were at my, like say my best friends, and because I consider my best friend their husbands, like my brothers. So if my kid go over there and act up, they got free reign.
See, I can't think of a friend that I'd be like, I can't
Tear
think of a friend
him
that
up.
actually.
If he acting up, tear him up.
But my kids also don't whoop their own kids. So you definitely can't whoop mine.
Tear him up. If he over there acting up, being disrespectful, knock him out.
I
Knock him out.
can't see that happening, but it is what it is. I also feel like and I guess and another thing is besides that, I just can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see it. Somebody spanking. I can't even see somebody spanking my nieces and my nephew. I can't even see that. Like that's weird to me. Like I was at one of my sister's houses and a friend of theirs who's a guy yelled at one of my nieces and I was like, "You're not gonna say nothing? You're not gonna say nothing to this?" And I was thrilled by that. So I can only imagine how thrilled I would be if one of these Hamanakas, I would probably try to fight. Like, dude, what are we doing here? No, not gonna happen. And I guess I'll see how that works if I have kids. But as it stands, no.
I don't have a problem if I don't have a problem with the person that I'm married to, or like especially for like dating for marriage. If he corrects, like if he raises his voice and says, "Hey,
Yeah,
go
that's
sit
cool.
down, go
Yeah.
sit down," and raises his voice, absolutely. He doesn't have to be my husband at that point either. If the kids are running around acting crazy, go sit down. Because especially if I'm sitting there saying, sit down, and they're not listening to me, she says, your mother says, go sit down, so sit down. I don't have a problem with that. Especially if he's going to possibly be in that role anyway. If y'all close to
Duh.
that role.
I'm sorry I had to say duh to that comment. But I'm sitting here thinking like, I think you see so many stories about how the boyfriend
Can be
or
abusive.
the girlfriend has killed the child or
Mhm.
the child is in the
That's why you
just,
have to take the time and vet these people like a mother. Because the thing is, a lot of times these people are, and I heard it on an interview where it's like people are going and to dating for like 6 months and moving into the house. You don't even know this person like that. And that's why it takes time. Like you can't just, especially when there's children involved, the dating process needs to be a lot longer because you got to find out who this person is and then see how they are with your kids while you're dating for an extended amount of time. See how they are with your kids while they're dating, and then see how they are, and then like kind of try to understand who this person is and see how their mannerisms, see them under different environments, see how they, how they react when they're extremely angry. You want to see them under different temperaments.
right. But I also feel like, I am a strong believer. People treat their children different than they do their biological children, especially if they don't live in the house with them. Don't shake your head and scratch your neck at me, sir.
Gretchen.
And I was thinking the same thing.
personal.
People are lonely, they want someone to love on them. They ain't that.
Well, that depends on the person. I'm gonna tell you that because my same friend, she has so he has a daughter and she has a son, and basically they've been in each other's kids' lives since they were like babies.
Mhm.
That is, they treat the kids like they're their kids. It don't matter if she's paying for stuff for them, if she's putting them in camp, whatever. She's paying for everything. She treats everybody like, even if my kids go to her house, those are her kids while they're under her care. She does everything the same for everybody. So it depends on the person. The same thing with anybody. If they send their kids to my house, anything I do for my kids, I do for their kids.
Right. And it definitely depends on the person for sure. Not disagreeing with that. And it depends on the person at what level you tell my children to sit down. And yes, they are my children. Regardless if we're married or not, they're always going to be my children. Because you can leave whenever you want to, but they're always going to be mine.
No, because the
You
men
can
are
refer
paying
to them
child
as your
support.
children also. I'm sorry.
No, because in divorce, those men are paying child support for those kids that they couldn't discipline.
If they adopt them, not
Nope.
in marriage too.
If you were married to them, it don't even matter if it was 1 year, that person can put you on child support. So to me, if that man can be put on child support for them kids that you claim were not his and he couldn't discipline, he can discipline them kids.
Okay, I didn't. Well, you're just gonna be paying child support, but you ain't with my kids. But again, we'll see what happens if I have kids. I mean,
Good for you. We don't want you either. Bye.
this is a comment to which she mentioned single moms just become more unattractive. What does that I mean, then my question to that commenter is, were your parents married? Because something inside me knows, were your parents married? Just answer that question, yay or nay. Are you going to say, well, I don't want to answer personal comments about myself, or what? But single parent and all, I've been raising this child by myself for a long time. I know this child better than this child knows itself. So if I don't want you to, or if I do want you to discipline my child in a certain manner, then that's what you're going to do. Either you can accept that or not, but we're not going to argue about it. Like, we're not going to go back and forth talking about some, well, I think this, well, I think this. No, we're not going to do that.
And that's something that even people should have that discussion. If it's not a single mother situation, even before you get married, anybody, even if before you even have kids in the picture, a couple should have a discussion about how they feel about disciplining children. Either way.
Right. So with this answer, you know nothing about the matter, so you really can't comment on it because you don't have kids.
Because I am a product. My mother was a single mother.
So it's like you. I mean, but hey, don't. So were your parents married or were they not married? Like, this is anyway. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Not that serious. So I don't know. I'm trying to think.
And also whether the person is able, do you let this person discipline a child? It also depends on that person's mannerisms, right?
What do you mean?
Their parenting style. Like, because, for example, my son is 13. Somebody who's authoritarian comes in, he may not respond well to that.
No, because I feel like your child is very mild mannered.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be yelled at.
It's different.
Say that again?
If he's authoritative, then it's different. Because authoritarian and authoritative is different. Those are two different parenting styles. Because one is very militant, one-way communication. My way is the highway. That's authoritarian. Authoritative, that's when you're actually you're setting clear rules and clear boundaries. You're having a conversation. It's a two-way communication, open communication, natural, reasonable consequences. That's authoritative.
Okay.
There's neglectful parenting where you're just like,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. And then there's permissive where the child just does whatever they do.
Yeah, ain't one of them.
You're just gonna be hands off.
Yeah, no. I'm authoritative. Well, I'm authoritative with the smidgen of authoritarian, because it is my way or the highway. It really is. But we're gonna talk about it. I can be flexible, But for the most part, like my mom told my
But you
sisters
know
and
how
I,
far
this is a
she is.
dictatorship. This isn't a democracy. You don't get a vote. Now, if I ask you what you want to do, ultimately is I'm a pick. It's my choice. But it definitely depends on parenting style, and it definitely depends on the child himself. If I feel like my daughter or my son, and let's say I'm a parent that's like, okay, yeah, we can share in the disciplining. You can spank, I can spank, we can spank together, right? Tag team back again. So if one child doesn't need to be spanked, like you can take away a apple from them or whatever. There's an apple on my table, and that child is falling out. That first child has fallen to pieces. You don't need to whoop my child
Yeah.
because the discipline that's different. But if it's like this, the only thing they listen to is physical reprimand, and I mean on the butt, not the back, not the neck, not none of that, on the butt. Then yeah, you got to I'm gonna have to whoop you or spank you, whatever y'all want to call it, to make y'all feel better.
Because most people look at my daughter and they don't want to discipline her.
Cause she's your feet.
I say you better whoop that chick.
No.
But for the most part, she behaves better at other people's houses.
She's so sweet. Just give her some popcorn. Leave her alone. Just give her some popcorn. Go today. I'm
You and this
telling
popcorn. You and this popcorn. I'm done with you.
you. He said, "No popcorn. Let the popcorn."
I said, stop eating the popcorn in my car.
Yeah, that was going in like she was looking at you, daring you to say something.
That
And she
chick.
wasn't even trying to make it moist and then like chew it so that you wouldn't know. She was like, "Yeah, this bag gonna crumble. This popcorn gonna crunch, and we gonna go home."
And it also matters also if that child's father is active in their life. How far does that discipline go when the person's father is active in that child's life? Because it goes one way if the child's other parent is not active in their life, but that other parent is active in their life, there's a chance that you might not be able to discipline this child.
Well, this
So
dude said, this is my house. Your child is in my house. I can spank them. And if you want to spank them when they get to your house for what they did, have at it. But you're not going to tell me not to spank them in my house.
Mm.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's disrespectful or sexy, but I'm perplexed right now. So I get back to you on that. You're such a man. But I feel like my dad can spank them then if that's the case.
Your dad?
Yeah, I wouldn't. My husband or boyfriend or whatever. My boyfriend definitely no, but my husband, we'll take him to my dad. My dad will come by, and he'll spank Keto.
But again, my son is way past spanking age.
But he said, and also again, it depends on the
co-parenting.
Not that the demeanor of the child.
Exactly.
It depends greatly on the demeanor of the child. Like I think, and again, I see some kids that get spankings or whoopings, and I'm like, that kid don't need it. You're not helping them. It's nothing to them to get a whooping.
Like,
some kids they laugh, and I'm like, you think this is working for you?
See, my son, he's very mild-mannered, but he's sarcastic. He's a smartass.
I know.
He don't need a spanking. He just needs his devices taken away, and he's in turmoil.
Right.
Not every kid responds to spanking well, because he even as a young kid, he didn't respond well to spanking. Okay, you spank me.
How do you feel? Okay, I'm gonna go back in here and play my video game now. How do you feel about? Then this will be, I guess, this will be the last thing, unless you have something else. How do you feel about parents who make their children read a book as discipline, or write a paper as discipline, or do your timetables as discipline, or something to that effect? How do you feel about that?
I don't have a problem with it if it's used like, because like, like some people go ahead and send their kid to their room. If they got their devices in their room, that's not really punishment.
Right.
So send them to their room and make them write an essay as far as what they feel like they did wrong, what they could have done different. or something like that. But like doing timetables, that's not really punishment to me. That's
I'm not a fan of
using homework. I don't use homework as punishment.
using education as punishment.
Yeah.
Any kind of education. Go read the Bible as punishment.
Yeah,
Like
no, see, I don't
just
know.
discouraging
Like,
them from liking
but if
school.
you write in lines, I will not do that again because this is and then like if that's the punishment, then that's something different. But doing
Right.
education, like
Writing lines,
paper
writing
and what
something.
you
I agree.
did, how do you feel like the response was, and what do you feel like you could have done different? That's punishment.
And what should your punishment be next time you try me again?
Exactly.
Because I want to know where you stand.
Yeah, that should be in the conclusion.
Right. Because if you say something silly, that means you're gonna do the junk again. But if you say something that's harsh, I want you to do it again. So I can have this paper up on the refrigerator. Like, remember this? What you said I should do next time? Let's do that. Let's do that. What is
Yeah,
this?
I don't believe in using homework as punishment.
Right. I don't think my parents never did that.
No, we
Yeah.
just read. She just made us read the dictionary just because she just made us read the encyclopedia because that's what we did. It wasn't for punishment.
Not the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Absolutely. I know a lot of crazy facts for no reason.
No, we talked about that. Right. But yeah. Give them if something's gonna be disciplined, it needs to be torturous. Not torturous, but it needs to be torturous. Like, oh my gosh, man, why? You know
Yeah.
why.
Like
So
me,
you'll
I
see
take away
you'll
the
see
cell
anything
phone, I
electric.
take away all the devices for a good 2-3 weeks, sometimes a
Bro,
month.
I'm shutting off the power to the room. You don't even get light.
I won't do
I'm
that.
thinking light bulbs. You come home and you just sit in the dark.
I take off the lock off the door though.
There's a lock on it. Well, we couldn't close the door at my mom's. We could not close. You couldn't close the door. Well, you need the door closed. Why do you need the door
Well, I
closed?
close the doors
And
because
don't
of fire hazard.
say again.
Because fire.
Well,
hazard.
yeah, but I'm talking about girl. That was back in the day. Let me think about that.
Oh, okay.
My mom was like, "Why do you need the door closed? You don't. You don't
But I'll definitely take it off.
take the whole knob so I can just push that thing up,
Mm-hmm.
see it through the hole.
What you doing in there?
What you do? Hey." So, anything else that you want to add from the first topic of people worrying about everybody money, the gossip that's going on, to disciplinarians being a disciplinarian?
Oh, another thing I wanted to bring up. What if this man, people gonna judge me for this. What if, for example, a woman has her home and this man now moves into her home and is trying to discipline her kids? Yeah, go ahead and sip your tea, sweetheart. That's gonna be a power dynamic. How you gonna be able to do that?
Because it's how you in my house
How you in my mama house?
disciplining my child with my belt. Like, what you mean? That's a tough
This my
one.
mama house. This ain't even your house. Because you can't even say that.
Right. I ain't even think about the kids saying, "This is my mama house.
Yep.
You in my mama house."
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's why a lot of dudes are like, "Nah, I'm not moving into her house. I'm not moving to
Yeah.
her house at all. We're
Yep.
gonna buy our own, and she gonna move into mine." In which case, like, I'm not moving into your house.
And this
You
is
ain't
why
finna talk about something you under my no.
that's why I don't agree with a man moving in with a woman, especially when that woman have kids. You need to buy something new so that can be your house.
It can be our house.
Yeah, but essentially he's gonna be the man of that house.
Right. That would
Because how
be
you gonna
tough.
be a
Dang,
man of
that
a
would be
woman's
tough. That
house?
would be so tough. You don't run another issue. This is my mama house. If I heard that, I might chuckle a little bit. I might
My daughter said it the other day.
stop it. Oh no. Give her some popcorn and let her go to her room. Leave that girl alone. If you don't want to bother you, give her some popcorn.
My son won't say it aloud, but he'll be thinking it. He might say it to me later.
How you gonna talk trash in your house?
My daughter, she
That's
was
tough.
so upset. I think he was like, Alexia, behave yourself. She said, this is my mommy's house.
And is. But even if we were in your house, you're still not whooping my kids. You're not. Love you, mean it. Bye.
But see, my thing is I have a daughter, so I'm kind of like Ashley, where it's like, if she's doing something, absolutely spank her hand and move her hand away. If she's doing something that if she's putting her
Right.
hands, like absolutely slap her on the hand, absolutely. If she's doing something bad, slap her in the hand. But see, like spanking for me, I don't know. After you're like 3 years old, the actual bend over spanking should not be happening.
Now, my dad used to hold us by our arm.
My mom used to
and take
whoop
us.
me. My mom used to whoop me with everything in the house.
Mom, huh?
Everything. I've been hit with everything.
Oh yeah, but I mean, my dad used to. We weren't bent over a bed. My dad used to hold us up. Our feet used to dangle, and he would whoop us that way. And my mom, you were over the bed, and she said, if you move, that's your fault where you get hit. So you might wanna be as still as
Slap
possible,
your legs be whooped up.
girl. Everything, cause my mom's strong. Man, she counted, but it was whew, man. Them things she put effort into it. I tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. Wait till you in the
But
shower.
huh?
Wait till you in the shower. I've
That
gotten
was
that
my
one.
last whooping. I ain't I'm gonna tell you this story real quick. I'm trying to tell it again. So my last spanking, whooping, my last beating ever. We used to call them killings. My last beating ever. I had gotten in trouble at school. They called my mom, and one thing she was like, don't have them call me at work, talking about my child is doing something wrong. So they called her. Fast forward, she said, you know what you're gonna get when you get home? Yeah, I know. So I get home, and usually when my mom gets home, it's immediate because that's how it goes. My mom's word was law. If she said she was gonna do something, it was gonna be done. So I'm like, she forgot.
Oh no, you
So
don't. I got.
I go on about my day. I go take my shower. Best shower concert ever in my life.
Those are
Just
torturous when they make you wait.
the steam was steaming, girl. Best shower. Woo! Finish, turn on shower, pull back the shower curtain. My mom was standing in the bathroom with a belt in her hand. I said no. My skin was tender and moist and warm.
Mm.
Worst whooping I've ever gotten in my life. Most memorable whooping I've ever gotten in my life. Never got one after that. I think she should have did that when I was 3. I would have never gotten in trouble again. Ever. Ever. Do you know your worst whoop? Like your worst?
Well, the worst ones were always when I be sleep and she wake me up with it.
How? Wait, what?
Yeah, she'd wait. That's why I said they were torturous. The ones that she make you wait, the ones that are not immediate, where it's like you knew it was coming, you just didn't know when it was coming. You knew something was happening. You just never knew when it was gonna happen. Dead asleep in the bed and get woken up, scared straight.
That's horrible.
Oh yeah.
That is horrible. That is horrible. My mom used to hit us in the middle of the night if we didn't wash the dishes. She'd be like, "Bah, go wash the dishes."
Mm-hmm.
But to know that is that for that to be a regular man, that's torture.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, it got you where you needed to be. My mom's husband never spanked us. No, I don't think my mom would have let that happen. I can't even
I'm
say he
trying
ever
to think
disciplined us.
if I'm trying to think if my dad, as I'm saying, my dad, my stepdad, the one who raised me.
Mhm.
I think maybe probably when I was 5, because he was in my life since I was younger. Maybe when I was 5, 6, maybe if I said something slick. But for the most part, he'd tell my mom to deal with it.
Yeah, no step parent has ever, or no person married to my dad or mom. Yeah, I wish somebody would know.
No, because you have the seed. That's the thing I said. Because your father is like my father was not involved in my life.
Mm-hmm.
My stepdad was my dad. He was my dad. It's, to me, it's very, very different if the other biological parent is an active player in their life.
So you don't. So if your kids' parents were active, you feel like your spouse need not whoop your children. Don't touch them.
My situation right now is because my son is older, so and my kids are not really, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but my daughter, she can definitely get it. He probably won't do it though, because he loved Lexi. Lexi can get away with murder. I'm gonna be the one tearing it up. Lexi can get away with murder. Lexi, his baby, she can get away with murder.
Well, thank you for joining me today, as well as Ashley, Jay, Chad, everyone who commented in the comment section. I appreciate you being here. Y'all have that conversation before y'all get married.
Yes, absolutely. That's the discipline, and he and I have already had that conversation as well.
Mm-hmm.
He and I have already had that conversation.
My conversation is don't touch my kids. Anywho, well, I'm gonna let everybody go because I'm gonna try to go to sleep and clean up and live my life
before 10 o'clock at night on a Wednesday.
I know, right? I feel so successful.
How are you?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Next week we're talking, I think it was LGBT.
Is it?
I believe so. I haven't put it up yet, but
you didn't put it
I
up yet.
think Chev is moderating with Ashley.
Oh.
Right. So, because she had questions last week and she was like, oh, I have questions. You have to, because I don't know, blah, 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 blah. So, that's what we're talking about next week.
Yeah, I got to see what it is so I can come with my documents.
Right. I'll be ready for your documents next time, though. I'm just going to have you moderate one and call it a day.
You do such a great job with moderating, though.
Oh, you join in. Okay. One show will be yours. So pick a topic, whatever topic you want to talk about. You got it, girl.
I have to think about it.
And then it'll look just like this.
Oh, no. That just doesn't even look right.
It looks fine to me.
All right, girl.
I see you.
All right. Bye, love.
Later.
Hey, just a quick reminder that if you're looking to join the live, while you're in the waiting room or the back room, go ahead and share this show to your page and you'll be on shortly. Hey, if you haven't already, go to the Raw News No Fluff YouTube page. Make sure you like, subscribe, and click to get notifications so you never miss a show.